Pirate Handyman, where we help you do simple things around the house that are going to save you coin and make things last longer. If you kind of dig what we're doing, hit that subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell, and that way anytime a new video drops you'll be notified. Today we're going to talk about the dishwasher. Now this idea came from Robin. Robin asked us, what happens when you get water standing in the bottom of your dishwasher? Is it something that you can fix? Yeah, you can. And anytime any of you out there have questions, be sure and ask them below. If there's anything else with the dishwasher that we don't cover, be sure and drop a comment there too. But her question was, what happens, or what can you do when there's water standing in the bottom of the dishwasher without having to call a repairman? Is there something you can check first? So we're going to show you. So first step is, you take out the bottom rack. Now the top rack, you'll notice that here there's little clips that are on the end. And these clips keep the rack from coming all the way out when you pull on it. And they can be a little tricky. You don't want to break them because obviously they won't work. So you'll see that on this one there's a little tab here. So what we do is we just push on the tab and then we turn it in. And you'll see you wiggle it a little bit and it comes off. So we'll do that with this one over here. We'll show you how to put them back on because there's an easy way to get them back on without breaking them. And we'll take this out, set it up here. Alright, so what we're going to look at now is the unit that is in the bottom of the dishwasher. There's a drain in the bottom of that. There's also a little, they call it a disposal or a grinder. Any of the food bits that stay on or they get washed off of the plates and things, this is supposed to grind it up. Now it is not like a garbage disposal, so if you get too much food in there, it can gum it up. There's some other things that we'll show you here in a second that can gum it up. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to take this unit apart. Alright, so there's a little screw, as you can see right here, and this has a reverse thread on it. So we're going to turn it clockwise until this comes out. So we'll just set this over to the side. And now you can see we've got some screws in here, and these happen to be star screws. Alright, so now this unit here, we're going to take this out also. This is what pushes the water. The hole here comes into the bottom of the tray at the top and sprays from the bottom, and then the rest of the water comes up here and sprays from the top. So we're going to take this out, and in this case it's just a couple of Phillips. So we'll set that there, and there's one up here at the top. Now you'll see there's a little tab here that we want to take out. So this pulls up over to the side. And this whole unit comes out. Now what we'll do before we put her back together is we will take this apart. Make it easier to put back in, and we'll just take a look in here and see if there's anything impeding the water. It's probably a good idea to put this in the sink and run water through here and make sure everything's going where it's supposed to. Now this is going to be the typical component setup in a dishwasher. Some of the newer or more expensive ones might be a little bit different, but they're essentially going to be the same. They're very similar. So now what we'll do is we're going to use our star wrench, or our star driver, and you'll see there's screws in the bottom here. We'll just get these loose. Now we'll take this out. We want to make sure that this is clean. We don't have any sediment or anything in there. We'll put it back with this because we know that this all goes together. We've got one more here. Now we'll see, we've got a little piece of something in the back. It's a little broken piece of plastic. We don't know what it is, so we'll just eat it. So we can use a screwdriver to go inside one of these holes and pop it up. Now I like to leave the screws setting in like this so I know where they go when they come back, when it's time to put them back. Alright, so the first thing you want to do is check around and see if you've got any sediment. Here's the drain down here at the bottom, and there's nothing in there. But you'll look here, I've got something sitting right here. So you can see here we've got some kind of sediment that has been down in there, and this could be gumming it up. Now, one thing that you want to be very careful with is you'll see this stuff right here. Now this comes from pods. The detergent pods that you put in there, they're supposed to dissolve, but they don't always. And so these can really gum things up. So we get down in here and we can feel that right down in here we've got some more stuff. And sure enough, this is all from the pods. Now, if you want to take this whole thing out, you can. At this point, I think just cleaning this stuff out is going to probably do the job. We didn't have a whole lot of standing water. Here's a toothpick. I don't know how a toothpick got in there. This seems to be pretty much all that we had in the bottom here. Alright, so you can see this is all the stuff we dug out. And we didn't have a big problem with standing water, but 90% of the time this is going to be the problem. And you just want to find the lowest part down there and dig around like we were digging around. Try not to push it through. You want to get it out. Now, there are two schools of thought on doing the dishes. One school of thought is rinse everything off very thoroughly before you put it in here. However, there are people thinks that it's going to work like it does on the television and those commercial thingies, that you can put something that has 30-year-old lasagna on it and just throw it in there and it's going to get it clean. Well, it might get it clean, but it's all going to end up down there. But 90% of the time, this is going to be what's causing your problem. So once you get it cleaned out, we're going to put it all back together, and I'll show you a couple of things as we're doing that. But as you can see, this whole thing took, what, 10-15 minutes. And if you do this once a year, you can keep from having the problem of having the drain back up and having the standing water and even having the water leak out. Alright, so now we're going to put this thing back together. You'll see on the bottom there's a little tube here, and this is where the water drains, and you'll see there's a little drain down here where that goes. So we just make sure we get that lined up. Put it down. I always like to make sure I've got the screws lined up just finger tight. Then we'll take our star wrench. our fun little, this is called a goober thingy. We'll put the goober thingy back in there. Make sure it's spinning like it's supposed to. Now, if you remember when we took this off, it twisted a little bit. So we're going to put it back on, and you'll see where it twists, where these little tabs go underneath. So we'll just put that back to where it's in place. Then we take this assembly, and this is just going to snap back in here in the back. Get the screw holes lined up. Alright, so now we're going to put this thing back on, and you'll see that there's a guide. So we find where the guide goes. Put it on, give it a spin, and remember this is a reverse thread, so we're going to go counterclockwise. And just have to get it thumb tight. Make sure it's spinning the way it's supposed to. Now we'll put this back on and show you how those tabs go back on there. Alright, so this part is going to go on the inside that way. And you'll notice there's little tabs here, and there's holes on the top here. And again, yours may be a little different, but it's going to be something close to this. So you simply turn it sideways, get the holes to line up, and then you simply pull it back until it snaps. And there, now it's on. There we go. Alright, so these are the stops that keep this from, keep your top tray from coming all the way out and dumping everything on the floor. So Robin, hope this answered all your questions. Thanks for asking the question. If anybody else there has a question, put it in the comments below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that little notification bell. That way, anytime a new video drops, you'll be notified, because we're here to help you do things to keep coin in your treasure chest. Here's to smooth sailing.